Welcome back to DC Tech. I'm Devin and we're working today on the Dodge Charger again. We got some parts in finally for the air conditioning. We had to be a good deal. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing first and then take a look at the car and see what it's going to take to get these suckers installed on here. The astute among you might notice that there's more than one box here and you're going to say, wait a minute, hold on. I thought it was just an air compressor. No, it's not just an air compressor. When the Dodge Charger loses compressor, you're going to get metal filings out throughout the whole system. So you got to change the condenser because the passages in the condenser are too small and it's nearly impossible to flush it out. So you got to put a new condenser and a few other parts on there, and that's why we got the big box. We'll have to flush out the other part of the system, the other end of the system with the evaporator, and shouldn't be too big a deal there. We'll get everything else installed in there and we'll see. So let's get into this unboxing a little bit. Cut this open, see what these new parts look like. Alright. So this came as a kit from Rock Auto, and of course everything's going to be made in China. We got all new O-rings. Get the premium synthetic lubricant compatible with the R134A and also the 1234 YF. And we also have a new expansion valve because the orifices in here will get plugged with filings as well. So we'll need one of those. Okay, we'll get in there. Let's see what this compressor looks like. It's supposed to be brand new. It's not remanufactured. Probably is. Looks like a compressor, and you can see, like on the other old one, we'll get that out. This rubber is all intact here, and that's what's missing. And then, of course, it's nice and smooth and not making any kinds of weird noises, which is what we're wanting. That guy. All right. Next up, we should have a condenser and a dryer. The last condenser I bought, I had gotten for my semi-truck. I got from a place. I'm not going to mention any names because I can't say it's their fault or not, but it came and it looked like a taco. So let's hope this is not like a taco. Box is in good shape. That's a good sign. Yeah, that's a condenser. It's attached. A couple deals there. Also has the dryer attached to the side. It's in pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of something going on there. Shouldn't affect performance. But this is the new style dryer they have on there. I'd like to see that in a little better shape there, guys. I don't know what you're doing over there. Freaking Wolverine got in there and chewed up all the fins in there. I don't know about that one. So all the plugs are in it. Seems like it'll do the job, though. We'll see. Alright, let's go back over here to the charger. I've already pulled off some of the clips off of the front here. you're gonna have to take up. I was trying to figure out if we had to take the condenser out from the radiator side or from the front. And it looks like it's gonna be the front, so it means the entire front bumper cover is gonna have to come off of it. And I pulled these clips out already to kind of get a look in underneath there to see what was going on. So I think what we'll do now is basically, they're not too bad. It's just a million of these little clips all over the place. There's a couple bolts underneath here, 10 millimeters probably. One here, probably one up underneath there. Maybe one or two along the bottom around the pan. And then we'll get this off and see what it looks like underneath here when we get to that. And then we'll have to get the air box back out of the way and a few things down there to get down into the compressor, which is in probably the worst place ever to try to get one out of. So this ought to be fun. Most likely we'll just switch to a time lapse for a little bit, maybe pop back and forth and see how it goes from there. Alright, well here we are with the old compressor, and you can see that where the rubber had disconnected and let go because it's making a little crunchy noise and doesn't want to turn. And the good thing that ripped out there, that connects it to the clutch off where the belt runs on it. And if that hadn't have done, it's probably designed that way so that if it does go out, that you don't stop driving, you just lose air conditioning. Here's the new one. You see how that clutch and this one spins all nice and smooth and everything like that. So all in all, it wasn't too bad. It took me about 45 minutes to get that out and get the condenser off and front clip bumper off of it. The hardest part is getting all them little plastic clips because they get old and brittle and they want to break when you pop them apart. So we got a big handful of new ones. We can just put new ones back in there to be all good. So that's what we're looking at here. And make sure you get your oil in here. I'm going to pre-charge it when I vacuum it down, and then I'll put the oil in after it's vacuumed down. Alright, so here we are back the next day, and we got everything put back together. The time lapse, one of those things just decided to stop, so we didn't get the whole assembly put back together in the time lapse, but kind of brief overview of what happened. And most of these little plastic clips that I took out from here and around the wheel wells all broke, so I had to go run up to the parts store and get big handfuls of those so I could get them all put back into their proper places. And I still have the cover off of the motor right now. I'm gonna take and run down, clean that up off the car wash. And then the other thing I had to do, because I converted it over to 134A from the R1234YF refrigerant, I had to change all of the O-rings and the expansion valve O-rings around there so they could handle the 134 refrigerant. And I had trouble finding a connector for the fit on the deal there. So I was up there looking around. It took some doing, but I did happen to come up with this little guy. So it's got the R1234 on this side, goes on onto the line, and then this side goes onto your R134 gauge set, like I have here, and he just goes onto there. And then that allowed me to use the vacuum pump to vacuum down the system and check for leaks, which there were none, and then also use that to recharge the system. Now I couldn't get onto the high side of it, which is not that much of a big deal as long as the low side was looking okay. So that's pretty much that. And I got the system charged and working, and everything's working. You can kind of see down in here, and you can see the new compressor chilling down in there. And the air conditioning's icy cold and working perfectly. But yeah, so we just want to finish up with that. And we got the front clip back on, front nose cover, bumper cover. We've got all the clips back into everything around the wheel wells and all the plastic parts on there. But all in all, went back together pretty easy. I took my time a little bit on it. To just make sure it was all done right and everything back in its proper place and plugged in properly for the fog lamps and the marker lights and all that good stuff. So yeah, it worked out good. So thanks for watching the video. Be sure, if you're new, you'd go back and check the older videos to see how to get registered for the car. And have fun, and thanks for watching. Bye. Alright, to give you an idea, we got the air conditioning on. It's 100 degrees outside, and it's freaking cold in here. It's freaking cold. Woo. It is cold. It just gets freaking cold. This is so much colder than it was with the R1234YF. Then with the R134 in this system, it is cold. I swear to this. Yeah, it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit out, and we're putting out 40-degree ambient air coming out of the vent. We've got a good air system now.